Inedia, Latin for fasting, or Breatharianism. The belief. Nope. Wait. Uh. Okay. Inedia, which is Latin for fasting, also known as Breatharianism, which is English. The belief that a person can live simply by absorbing the nutrients they need from the sun or air by breathing it in. The ancient trend is described as a deadly belief by scientists and medical professionals as a shortcut to starvation and dehydration, both of which may lead to death. This is believed in throughout the world. In this world, speckled by conspiracy theories as wild as continent-sized monsters, and our planet being a flat disk, therein lies the apotheosis of beliefs. Well, so we thought. There's been lying. There's been eating. Evil. A once dignified representative of breatharian culture, Wiley Brooks spoke many sentences about his life as a man who did not eat, but rather breathed in his nutrition. In 1983, he was seen leaving a Santa Cruz 7-Eleven with a slushie, a hot dog, and a Twinkie. God damn, a Twinkie too. Then, on a later date, after he was caught producing a burger with his face within a McDonald's, Wiley Brooks had this to say. This was back in the love me and love thyself days. Even now, there is a massive community of representatives that celebrate breatharianism as the way, with new, more trusting people to exemplify breatharianism's capabilities. The truth to life and stuff. The answer to the greatest question. But there is also one small detail all of these people are getting wrong in their homework assignments. Rather, one huge important detail which will fail them in their pop quizzes. The adjustment to the scientific equation, if you will, that would allow for liftoff. They are all not beatboxing. A world filled with mystery can only begin to be understood through the meaningfully wise elocution of beatbox prophet and Twitch streamer Squashua Gonzalez, a man of 25, and the forefront runner of Beatboxairianism. Here are his thoughts on the making of the Beatboxairianism name. They maintain that the Son of God was created by the Father, and was therefore neither co-eternal with the Father nor co-substantial. Then I dropped the illest spit. After that, I added an I, and I still be launching absolute dirt. Now, there are many noted examples of testing done in squash with Gonzalez. One such example is the beatbox studies of 2018, wherein beatboxicians, alongside doctors and scientists, studied the long-standing effects of beatboxairianism for a total period of 6 months. One individual who took part in the studies, Michael Leslie Winslow, had this to say.
We've been here for a few weeks, 6 weeks before this even started, so I've started the process of meeting everybody, and I'm enjoying it. This has been pretty good, pretty good.
What was observed during the course of the experiments with Squash with Gonzalez not only retaining top physical form while neither consuming water nor food, but actually gaining weight the more time he beatboxed. Squash with Gonzalez's lungs also exhibited odd behavior during these experiments. The reason breatharianism fails in the absorption of nutrients through the well-practiced method of sunbathing is because neither the skin nor the lungs have the innate ability to absorb nutrition, which can be used for physical body functions, such as walking, or stalking, or even talking. Now, it is true a certain vitamin supplement is absorbed through sunbathing, but this is not enough to account for how much energy we really need to operate. Squash with Gonzalez's lungs had this ability to not only absorb nutrients, but to actually create the necessary nutrients in his lungs for his lungs to absorb through a process known as dope flow breathing, beatboxing while breathing. Using data gathered in the past which directly references feeling the flow during a beatbox session, scientists were able to study some surprising findings. In the end, the scientists found that their hypotheses were correct. Through these experiments, they concluded that fire beats are nutritious and can in fact sustain a human body. Where did all this begin? There is no better source of information than that which post-Mennonite DJ John Michael Mike Smith can procure. DJ John Michael Mike Smith. The man, once known as a devout follower of Breatharian ideology, has since grown up to become an adult. Since then, he has also become a grand follower of the Beatboxairianism ideology, donating up to hundreds of dollars toward its growth and studies. According to DJ John Michael Mike Smith, Squashwell Gonzalez was seated beside him on a bus. Squashwell Gonzalez was eating a sandwich many years before becoming a beatboxarianist. DJ John Michael Mike Smith made an odd sound, which Squashwell attributed to being the excitement there is to be felt in beatboxing. Squashwell retorted with a snare of immense proportion. Immediately understanding the situation he was now in, John proceeded with an oral hi-hat which perfectly accented the sounds protruding from Squashwell's speech cavity. They responded to each other's sounds, never missing a beat, creating an exquisite and explosive symphony of mouth sounds that pierced the very ears of every individual that had the golden opportunity to experience this magnificent moment in history. Not me. I was not on that bus. No one on that bus ride has eaten since. Since this moment in history, Beatboxairianism has had a slow crawl up in terms of popularity, gaining single followers by the day. As easy to believe as Beatboxairianism could be, Squashwell Gonzalez had this to say about the slow-growing popularity of his beliefs. I don't know, man. I just don't know if we can do it. But then again, I know that we can do it. Beatboxairianism has a long way to go, not only in terms of popularity, but also in terms of documentation. Unfortunately, not many would be willing to test Beatboxairianism at all due to the acquired knowledge of beatboxing. But this is not to say beatboxing is impossible for you. This brings us to our sponsor, at beatboxes.com. It's the only low-profile, low-access, almost impossible to reach supplier of beatboxes. Beatboxing, a box that beats. There's no better source for your beatboxes. So if you wish to get into Beatboxairianism, check that out. Many will continue to follow Beatboxairianism all the way to its doubtable end. Most importantly, some have observed it, not only as a way to nourish their bodies, but to nourish their souls, and even their minds. It is noted that Squashwell Gonzalez has never told his followers not to eat. It is simply an option in the ideology. He also will not accept donations unless in the form of rhythm. Comparing and contrasting Beatboxairianism to Breatharianism is like comparing blue to white. They're both colors, or they serve the same purpose. But in terms of substance, there is no comparing the two. One is pure, consistent, and comfortable, while the other is empty, confounding, but fast. Which is up to you as the audience. Squash out!